Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
Yep. That's right, folks. It's episode 2 of Snyder Sundays. I'm Jared, and I'm here with Teladia Plays and Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, guys?
Save Martha!
Sorry, Nick. I got to do that because you...
Why did you say that name?
You queued it up so well.
I'm sorry, but never before and never again will that clip be ever more better set up than they'll never ever be set up again. It's all downhill from here, folks.
Yeah, exactly. So tonight we're talking about, and you've read in the thumbnail, we are defending Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now,
Ultimate Edition.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was gonna say key point. Well, the only edition that exists. Yes, we're only talking about the Ultimate Edition, except for Nick because he was like an idiot and only watched the regular edition because the library sucks.
Boo.
Yes, please boo me. I deserve it because like I tried to watch Ultimate Edition. Like seriously, I'll show you guys. I got this from the library. It says Ultimate Edition on it. Okay, and then all right, screw these.
What's up, Jarrett, our boy? And then we've got. I was like, go ahead, Nick.
You look at the DVD. It is neither Ultimate nor Edition. So it's
thanks
like,
a lot.
What the frick?
That's the government for you. So, Master Sergeant says BVS is some underrated bit because of the butcher theatrical cut. Yes, critics declared that the Ultimate cut is far superior and would have been received better. Yes, exactly.
Didn't they cut it down because they wanted more showings in theaters per day?
Yes.
Because they wanted to make their bonuses or something?
Again, these Warner Brothers executives, they're idiots. And you know what? I got to do this again.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
So, yes. And it seems it's very interesting how the history of Warner Brothers is pretty much, and yes, Jared Heath, the history of Warner Brothers is sabotaging movies. So, and then Master Sergeant also says other reasons it's underrated is because the fans wanted a DCEU that was more reflective of the MCU and Arrowverse. And by fans, he puts air quotes. I agree with you. Less light, less dramatic, and geared toward family fun, which is not DC. Anyone that's read DC, particularly around the time, because the New 52 was going on and Rebirth, which when you read those two like iterations of DC, it's pretty dark.
Yes.
Particularly Superman. So I'm like, what are you guys doing? Sonic Queen said she'll tune in, but not come out. Okay. So anyway, now let's see. What else do we have here? Okay. So, and then also, and notice how significant creative deviations of character and story from the comics are cheered for when it comes to the MCU and Arrowverse, but any deviation within the DCEU gets blasted. My man, I have to give you this. Yes, I give you that. So
I must say, like rewatching these Snyder films, like actually like rewatching them now that they're fresh in my mind. And comparing them to when I watched the Marvel stuff, the thing about the DC films, the Snyder and Essential, is they make me feel stuff. Like
yeah, exactly.
I feel emotions when I'm watching this. Like I care about the characters, I care about the story. Whereas with Marvel, it's like ooh shiny object, ooh reference, ooh callback. Sorry, I was imitating the usual MCU fan.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you, Nick. That's the thing. Is that that's my biggest issue with anti-Snyders is that they cheer this stuff when it's when it's like when the MCU does it, but when the DCEU does it, they're like, "Oh, this sucks." And he says, "Just talking points. Let's get this thing going." Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Teladia.
Yeah, go ahead.
But what I was gonna say is that it's gonna be like, let's start kick things off with the opening scene of BVS, right?
They did my boy Jimmy Olsen dirty.
No, that wasn't that wasn't the
That's
opening.
not the opening.
It's the Black Zero event, but from the human perspective.
That is the origins of Batfleck.
Do you all think, by the way, Adrian Cortez dropped this? Yes, I do. Very much so. Let me put it this way. If they didn't, if there wasn't any hope that we could get the Batfleck movie, why is he coming back for multiple projects when he could have easily said no to at least Aquaman? Exactly.
Here's what I'll say about the scene. For one, the continuity with Man of Steel lines up so great, especially once you realize that scene where Zod is first using his laser vision.
Yeah,
in the Wayne Tower.
I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so cool.
No,
And
but like-
actually, yes, Medina does say actually the opening is the Wayne murder, and this sets up the
Yeah.
scene that we're going to talk about later.
Yes, the opening scene is the Wayne murder and him going, going down that cave, which was just like, which was cool, and then him ascending, and then which goes into white light, which with the back
Yeah,
that special effects thing was
Mm-hmm.
amazing to see.
I will kind of give this knock against BVS. Nolan did that scene better. Like the whole rising out of the cave with the bats.
But he wasn't
sorry.
rising in that one. He was just standing there like an idiot.
I mean, I think there was some scenes where like he was kind of rising out of the cave and just the
Not with bats surrounding him.
No,
Well, that scene where he does kind of stand up and the bats kind of swirling around him, you got to admit that is a really good scene.
Yeah, oh, it is fantastic. But the way I took it with Snyder is that scene when he's being risen up, when he's surrounded by bats, I took that as like symbolic that Batman used the Batman persona to rise out of the like depression he was in after his parents got killed. Yeah, and
Are you saying The Dark Knight Rises?
yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Thank you. And then, by the way, Jarrett, I will say 2016 Ghostbusters. I've only seen one of these, but from what I saw, the Ghostbusters one is worse. I'm going to say that.
Wait, they made a Ghostbusters in 2016?
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was like Ghostbusters 2, and then we got after like 30 years later. I mean, they made that one in 2016.
Yes, PK, I will talk about that in a second because that is very key here. I noticed that when I rewatched the movie today, this one part he precedes the Martha scene. Very important to our discussion. So we'll talk about that in a second.
I just want to add this. Look at the words that where Bruce Wayne makes a promise. No Martha dies tonight.
Yeah. And look at his eyes. Okay, so we'll talk
about it. Let's just talk about it.
All right, well, we might as well start off with the most controversial part of the movie. All right, so the Martha scene. Now, here is, and by the way, yes, Medina is ripped straight from the comics. So
even Mark
again,
Zorro in the background.
Yes,
no,
Snyder,
but not only that is the opening scene is good. The font is completely different to what we got in Man of Steel, and also because the opening like credits and that. But also like what you got was just like very much Frank Miller's inspiration with the murder scene, which I felt like that was really purposefully done by Zack Snyder. I mean, he's done that with.
You want to talk about Frank Miller Batman? We got to see like there's a shot towards the end where that's literally ripped straight out of Dark Knight Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit.
Hey, Man of Steel V2, my boy! This dude's been catching my content for months. What's up, dude?
Yo, what's up, my dude? Man of Steel V2.
See, here's the thing. Snyder gets no credit for how comically accurate. I don't mean you guys know what I mean when I refer to comically, but how comic accurate his movies are. He gets no credit. And it's criminal.
I mean, he did it for Watchmen. He did it the same thing for BVS, where it's literally ripped out of a comic. It literally looks like it ripped out from Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Returns.
And Jarrett, ask and you shall receive.
Why did you say that name?
There you go. Just wanted to do that. So, yeah, exactly. And so here's the Martha scene. Actually, I'm going to go up because someone in the chat actually put a very, I believe it's PK put up. All right, so when Batman's about to kill Superman starts with, "You're letting him kill Martha." And you notice that's what first like snaps Batman out of his rage. Because as we know, Batman has always blamed himself for his parents getting killed. So, in other words, in a way, what Batman is hearing is someone saying, "You're letting him kill your mother again."
That's why he's saying, "Why did you say that name?" Because in his mind, it's like Batman playing a mind game on him. Like that's what it is. He's talking about his mother, and that gives enough time for Lois to get there and say it's his mother, and instantly they have this connection and whatnot. Like also, like I I love how as soon as the miscommunication is over, they're like, "Oh, okay, I know you're just trying to kill me, but let's be buddy now."
That's what it normally is. But also, here's the thing: Enosh from the Poindexter Lounge actually made this important point. It's because at that moment, also, Batman realized that he's essentially become Joe Chill at that point. He's going to kill essentially another Martha, so it's going to be his fault this time. So he's like, "Oh my!" To quote Obi-Wan Kenobi, "You'll become the very thing you swore to destroy."
And that is why he's saying no Martha. That is why he promises Superman that no Martha will die tonight.
And if you look at the eyes,
notice saying it that way is very deliberate.
Yeah, and you notice his eyes. He's like super desperate, and you look at those eyes. He's kind of crazy. He's like, "Nope, this isn't happening again." And Medina says that the reason people didn't understand the Martha scene is because they are used to having the character stop and tell their exactly. They don't want. In other words, the people don't want to work. That's what it is.
Can we get this comment on my man, please? Because it is so spot on.
Yes. You know what, Nick? I concur. Oh, and by the way, speaking of BVS, we happen to have special security camera footage of Ben Affleck coming back as Batman.
Also, can I say that scene is amazing?
Yeah, yes, it is. That Batmobile scene was dope. Another layer to it goes like this: Batman is letting him, Luthor or Anatoly, kill Martha, Kent, an innocent civilian, used to blackmail Batman, Superman into fighting. Yes, exactly. Oh, and by the way, you know who that Anatoly guy? He's actually a DC character. He's KG Beast.
Yes, KG Beast.
I thought he was Firefly.
No. it's KGB. Wait, Firefly's name is not Anatoly. And by the way, Martha has multiple meanings. For Clark, it's about still holding on to his lifetime of secrecy and his father's fears. Lois has to come and say it's his mother. What's up, Lauren Snyder? I love your movies.
So I was going to bring this up, right? Because I think we should talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think as well, like in the beginning, how Bruce basically, runs into that mist where the Battle of Metropolis happens.
Yeah.
He runs in, he literally pulls out Wally, whatever his surname is, Wally from that rubble, and then he quickly managed to grab the little girl. He literally has his eyes set on Superman and blames him from then on. He was just like, dude, you teared apart my building. You killed thousands of people. You know what
I wish would have happened?
Yeah.
I wish that guy in the tower would have been Lucius Fox.
That
would have made that scene hit so much harder because we just got off of the Christopher Nolan films and people know the name Lucius Fox, and it would make sense that he would be the one in that building. So killing Lucius Fox that way would kind of be a quick and cheap way of doing it.
No, it wouldn't work out, I'm afraid. Because
and by the way, I'm sorry, go ahead, Teladia.
Lucius is already based in Gotham. He's never based in
Metropolis.
Yeah. So that wouldn't have made any sense.
It's just in this universe, they're across the bay from each other, and there is a Wayne building in Metropolis. So
but he's always been in Gotham.
So to answer your what's it called question, Lawrence Snyder, is the fact that it took place 18 months after Man of Steel. Remember that. It takes 18.
What's funny is in the movie they say 2 years, but in the title card they say 18 months. I think that's just like a shorthand kind of thing of saying it.
Yeah.
To those who don't know, I made 5 years long. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, and also here's the important part because Clark helped them. They have Superman. And also, Master Sergeant says he also realized how far he had gone from his code. That's why he throws the spear in disgust.
Yeah, we'll talk about. I think that's something we could talk about later. But I think mainly focus on the beginning of the film and then the middle and the end.
It's a good
way to start. I think even at the beginning, what really intrigues me as well is the fact that how much Clark was doing journalism. You saw Clark and Lois doing journalism stuff, which look which looked pretty cool. You saw Jimmy Olsen, you know, in Nairobi. I think it's called Nairobi or whatever it's called
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
Africa. She was doing an assignment she was given, right?
Mhm.
But they killed off Jimmy Olsen. Funnily enough, Jimmy Olsen was supposed to be working for the Daily Planet, but in this universe, he's a CIA agent, which is a complete.
Yeah, I don't like that because for some reason modern DC has this like hate boner for Jimmy Olsen. Like they just gotta like humiliate him, kill him off in so many ways possible. I find it kind of stupid, honestly.
Oh yeah, this too. Batman has killed KGBs in the past, so you know what? That's actually really clever. No, I disagree with you on that, Jarrett.
See, the thing is, Luther is intimidating. It's just the thing is, he makes us uncomfortable, and uncomfortable is intimidating. You know, like he invades people's personal space, you know, all that stuff. You know, he's uncomfortable because he's not the way a normal person acts. You know, he acts. Fun fact. I don't think this is confirmed, but like supposedly, the performance was based off of Max Landis, who has now been revealed to be a sex pest. But you know, that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say as well, the actor who played KGBs as well, just to mention it, Anatoli, is the same person who played him in Winter Soldier. That's something to take into consideration.
That's
So
dope.
he's played.
Wait. He played. Who did he play in Winter Soldier?
He was the what's it
He was
called?
one of the strike agents.
Yeah, he wasn't Crossbones. He definitely wasn't Crossbones.
He wasn't Crossbones, but he was what's it called?
Hydra agent.
Hydra agent. Yeah, that's it. He was a cross agent basically for
I think
Hydra.
I remember seeing him. Oh wait. I think he was in the like the scene, like he went 1-on-1 Captain America or something.
He was in the elevator scene, and by the way, PK makes a good point that the CIA doesn't send its people undercover and tell them to use their actual real name. So as far as we know, that's not really Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. So it's
well,
really interesting.
I got a theory.
Mm-hmm.
What if a Jimmy Olsen does work for the Daily Planet? It's just Lois never met him for one reason or another, so she doesn't know what he looks like. So he basically says, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Olsen. I'm going to be photographer with the Daily Planet on this," and you know, and so Jimmy Olsen still exists and is still working for the Daily Planet. It's just
That's
Lois
interesting.
Because you got to realize the Daily Planet is probably a big thing, and Lois is one of the top reporters, and Jimmy probably could have been one of the younger ones. So this could have been his first assignment, you know, or maybe he's just a Jimmy Olsen who's a photographer trying to make it in Metropolis, you know, because like Jimmy Olsen is usually pretty young. So like they could have just had like, oh, Jimmy Olsen's gonna do it. We're gonna hire this freelancer, Jimmy Olsen, but instead of it being the real Jimmy Olsen, it's this person intercepts and takes the identity, which would be I could very much see that happening.
And
Lawrence, and Lawrence, that's gonna be in like I believe Justice League 2. So,
and Tevye says, "Who's the son?"
I mean, if you go to Dan Medina's theory, it's like that was actually Jimmy Olsen's father who was killed, and then his son is the actual Jimmy. That would be a little reaching.
Yeah, because that Jimmy looked like he was kind of like 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make Jimmy Olsen Jr. at best 2 or 3 years old at this time.
And by the way, Jarrett, the DCAU and JLU I found inaccuracies in how they portray certain characters. So don't go by what the Timverse does. Batman, Batgirl.
I mean, we could have. I feel like people
could be.
Well, okay. I gotta talk about the, like I mean, like I feel like people harping on the Batman Batgirl thing. They're kind of overblowing it a little bit. Like it's not that big of a deal. I think people get way too obsessed over it, and it's honestly the fact that they're so obsessed for it. I find that creepy. You know, the fact that people are so obsessed over 2 consenting adults, whatever. You know, it's not pedophilic at all. Like you want to like say mentor or whatever. But like the people who put much emphasis on it, that I find creepy. So
yeah. And by the way, Lambda, yes, the real Doomsday is out there. In fact, in Man of Steel, when you look at the moon of Krypton, apparently, according to Zach, that was broken by the real Doomsday.
No, but
also, there's another thing. They said colonies. So Daxon probably exists. So there's probably some Daxonites running around. Because Daxon.
Sodom Yacht, baby, Sodom Yacht.
So you got some. There's probably going to be some Daxonites. Mon-El maybe.
Mhm.
So there's probably some Daxonites running around.
Go ahead, Teladia.
So I was gonna say, let's talk about the fact that how the Ultimate Edition, like how much in depth the scene was from, like in between the middle scene, right?
Mhm.
Where after basically Clark was given the assignment to cover the story for the
Oh yeah, they
Well-
actually showed him being a journalist. First off,
yeah, they actually show him being a journalist, and instead of him covering the sports stuff, he went to go and cover the Bat Vigilante, and he straight up got told off for it.
It's still really weird that Perry White, like every time he says, "I logged into your Dropbox and like check this," and it's just so weird for like a modern movie to be referencing Dropbox.
I
Like,
will
that
say
service-
though,
I use that service all the time, so it's like really weird for him to mention it.
if you notice, Perry White made a major Superman Easter egg. He said, "Well,
Oh,
it's not
38.
1938 anymore." I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
I caught that too. I was on the rewatch and I actually caught that as well. That was
I also saw that as maybe Snyder or like Chris Terrio blasting people that were against the Man of Steel Superman, going, "This isn't the 1980s, the 1940 Superman anymore." And by the way,
This
how
isn't
old do you think that?
1978 anymore.
And we have a celebrity, the Nicotina Show. What's up, Andre? How you doing? And then how?
In the show.
Smash that like button. Yes. And boy, Nicotina, if you want a link, drop me a DM. And by the way, how old do you think Robin was when the Joker killed him?
I would if I was if
15.
I mean,
15.
yeah, I would say
I would-
so.
I would say about 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at that outfit, it's not like a 12-year-old's outfit.
Yeah, he's probably older. And
Agreed, Nick. Agreed, Nicotina. It's definitely a masterpiece.
thank
The
I even
ultimate-
called it as such in the
The Ultimate Edition is a masterpiece.
Yes,
That's the only
the
edition we're talking about, dude, except for you.
except for you, which you watched the flipping thing edition. I am never gonna forgive you for that, Nick. Just remember
Okay,
that.
I've accepted my fate that I'm going to be the butt of the joke for the rest of the stream. Bring it the frick on.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, yes, he
I've
was
been
past
good to him
puberty.
about it, so.
And by the way, Medina, we would. It's just I don't want the stream to be taken down due to copyright. And Robin was probably as old as Jotaro Kujo in Stardust Crusaders. I have no idea.
Oh, we got a JoJo reference.
Okay, so moving on, but it's astounding how, like, by the way, what's kind of funny is that people say, well, Batman killed those people he branded because apparently the brand was a death sentence. And I'm like, that was also Lex Luthor's plan. They literally show you in the Ultimate Edition Anatoly showing up in the prison saying, kill that dude that's been branded.
Yeah.
Watch the
Equally.
movie, people!
Yeah, Nick, watch the movie.
Yeah, dude. I can't believe it's such a betrayal, Nick. So anyway,
But yeah.
I'm not harping on Nick anymore. I love how people, but I love how people obviously ignore in the Ultimate Edition. They explain that was all Lex Luthor's plan. It's not like Batman was doing that.
Lex
And
literally
it's like, and at this point, I mean, it makes sense for Batman to kill because he's straight from the code. He's not the person he used to be. He's more brutal. Like he's jaded, so it makes sense for him to kill. This is more of like a Dark Knight Returns Batman.
And here's the key part: his Robin was just killed, and Robin's always used, and it wasn't Jason Todd, it was Dick Grayson. And here's why that's important.
How long has Robin been dead in this universe?
I have no idea. But here's the important part: the very fact that it's Dick Grayson. Here's why that's actually really like effective. And by the way, we have a celebrity in the chat. Snyder Queen's in the chat, so I figured at this point, yes, at this point, I have another clip for you, Snyder Queen, generously provided by actually Nick, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Just wanted to drop that off there. And by the way, Ultimate Edition was just everything one could wish for. It's just so good. If you don't understand the movie, then you didn't watch. Yes, exactly. You clearly didn't watch the movie.
Stop laughing.
Snyder Queen, you are a celebrity in our eyes. How's that? Okay, you are a
Yeah.
celebrity in our eyes.
That's why we wanted-
We've been blessed by royalty. The queen herself has given us a visit.
And-
It's not every day I get.
Wait,
Yeah, go
wait.
ahead. You go ahead, dude.
Just to let you guys know as well, Snyder Queen. Next week we're doing a rewatch for Wonder Woman. So you want to be a part of that? You probably want to.
Not next week, the week after, because we're talking. Oh, actually, yes, we're doing it in order. So yes, we will do Wonder Woman then.
Yeah, Wonder
Yeah.
Woman's next week. So
Yeah,
if you
and so
want-
Snyder Queen, we're kind of requiring you have to show up and be on this panel for Wonder Woman.
Your presence
Sorry.
your presence has been requested. We are heavily requesting. You are
And
a
yes.
queen. You decide if you can come.
And Adrian Cortez, yes, that is true. Only smart people understand BVS. Only
Like-
non-Marvel people.
Did
Like,
we
I
just go full
understand-
Rick and Morty?
but you know,
And by the way, Jared, hell no.
no.
All right,
We're
I
only
think-
talking about the movies that are connected to Zack Snyder's universe, and
Oh,
then
I think
or Zack Snyder movies. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say
I
that.
think Jarrett deserves the dark side.
No. Now I was gonna say, right? Here's what I was gonna say is that,
It's my street.
no, the thing is, we're only doing movies that either Zack Snyder directed or produced. That's it. Simple as.
No, he didn't die in BVS. He died pre BVS. His tombstone is in the thing, I believe. It's in the graveyard. It works because of all the Robins. I think Dick Grayson dying would be the one that would push Batman over the edge.
Yeah.
And by the way, theatrical reminds me of how executives wanted Coppola to cut the Italy scene out of The Godfather. Oh, jeez.
But this is
That-
like, you know, in the middle of the,
wait. They wanted to cut the most important sequence, which literally set up his character for the rest of the film. Like without it, the rest back half of the movie would fall apart.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and by the way, as
Fucking
we
moron.
saw him brand Cesar Santos, a sex trafficker, it would be assumed that Batman only branded the worst possible people. Yeah, he's not just grabbing people off the street and branding them. Give him a
No,
little look.
it's like-
Give him a
yeah,
little
he's-
credit.
Yeah, he's not like, oh, you snatched a purse from someone, you're getting a brand. You know,
Yeah.
oh, you jaywalked, you get a brand. No,
You
no,
jaywalk. It'd be hilarious.
You voted for Joe Biden, brand.
No. So nothing political, but
Nothing political, dude. We don't do politics here.
so I was gonna say that as well, as well within that movie, within BVS Ultimate Edition, like in the middle of the movie, what really definitely piques my interest is how Diana is introduced.
Oh, yes. Let's talk
Oh,
about that for a second. There's no indication of who she is. She's just this woman that steals Bruce Wayne's hard drive. She steals from Batman. Oh, and by the way, please do that because it's watch the Ultimate Edition. It's so good.
I got
I
the
feel
Ultimate
like- I
Edition
feel
on
like-
the PC.
I do feel like most people, even without the context of the movie, probably could put two and two together. You got this beautiful Amazonian woman who can outsmart Batman.
But she could have been Catwoman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
By the way, just to say,
No,
Machina-
we're not doing that. I just want to make sure I drop this right here. We're not defending Justice League. By
Yeah.
Justice League, we're referring to the good Justice League movie.
Also, Medina, I'm not gonna post that link you sent me in DMs. Nope, I'm not gonna throw it on screen.
Yeah, I can't do that because I don't want this stream to be taken down by copyrights. So
By WB.
we don't want the anti-Snyder League people to come in and take us down for stupid stuff.
yeah, exactly. So when Diana's first introduced, she's just there, and originally you would think she's Catwoman. And actually, they allude to Catwoman in the movie. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
goes, "I've known a few women like you," so I'm like, okay, and yes, PK Shades, I definitely agree with that. Don't say anything. That's what would have been so much cool. Because can you imagine if we didn't know that she was playing Wonder Woman and then this happened? Can you imagine that? Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, Jarrett, yes, exactly. And Snyder Queen agrees with me right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I love-
Snyder Queen. That
I
is
love how
100% true.
I love how the only confirmation we got when she was Wonder Woman was like as she's exiting the plane, they said, "Oh, Miss Prince."
Yeah.
That's pretty much like, oh, she's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And then you get the
That's
full
what I'm saying.
reveal.
If they had not said, if let's say they just said Gal Gadot was in there, because here's the thing. Here's why it was genius that Zach cast and at the time unknown actor as Wonder Woman. We would never have expected for Gal Gadot, the girl from Fast and the Furious, to be Wonder Woman. So when she's cast, we would think she's like a background character or something like that. So then, when she's walking off the plane, and then the flight attendant goes, Miss Prince, all of us would have been like, wait, what? Did she just say Miss Prince?
Yeah, like honestly, she could have been anyone. Like honestly, like she could have been.
But I
Catwoman,
think
she could have been Black Canary for all we knew.
She would have to be blonde though.
exactly. And I was
She
going
could
to
have been wearing a wig. She could have been wearing a wig.
No, she
Oh,
doesn't
and
wear a wig.
I just want to say one thing. Dennis Medina, Wonder Woman 1984 was set in the past because Jenkins had no idea what to do after Justice League. WB offered the directors and writers no guidance about where the DCU is going. By the way, people ask, how come... it's just one point I want to bring up about the Snyder Cut. People are like, how come that the Atlanteans speak like dolphins, but in Aquaman they speak like normal people? Because they didn't give Zach any like guidance, so he was basically like, okay, this would kind of be cool. That's it.
Well, as well, Lawrence Snyder. Here's the thing: according to rumors, if Zaslav is indeed going with the Snyderverse, if that is going to be the thing, I think that might be true. Now, I don't think Grayson's going to come back. I think that's a one and done thing. I think that's it. He's not going to come back at all.
I think if they were to do a Nightwing movie, they could do like a
Black Label.
Yeah, Black Label movie. And the sequel to Wonder Woman should have been set in 1942 and named it World War II. That actually would be is actually a good suggestion, dude.
I feel like that wouldn't be a good idea because then you're going up against a certain group of people who are very contentious in today's societies. And it's a nightmare from a political standpoint, and it's just not like it's fine in World War II because it's just Germans, and whatever. And we're so far removed from World War One, but World War II, its politics are still reverberating to this very day. And so even if you do Nazis bad, whatever, it's still like you're still very it's very like just touching upon the Holocaust. Like what? Like how you gonna have Wonder Woman? Like if Wonder Woman doesn't free every Jewish person from concentration camps, people are going to say she failed at her job.
Yeah.
But what they could have done, instead of doing the 1980s, do the 1990s. That would have been a lot more efficient.
Actually talk about like surveillance if you're talking about 1984. So
I think a Wonder Woman in the 60s might have been interesting.
Yeah.
They kind of frame it
the white pantsuit from when she went to a boutique clothing store. That would have been great.
Yeah, that's more 70s, but yeah.
So back to BVS though.
Yes.
And let's talk about the fact that when obviously when the hard drive got retained, the nightmare scene kicks in.
Oh yes.
When that kicks in, Bruce falls asleep and you get into that scene with the nightmare scene. If you want to be the other direction. Yeah, true. But once we get into that nightmare scene with Batman. I just went, whoa, we saw the Omega symbol.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the Omega symbol, as someone that knows what that means, I'm like, wait, what?
Dark
this
side?
Early? What?
Dark side? Excuse me?
Exactly! As a DC fan, and as a Dark Side fan, because he's like, he and Deathstroke are my two favorite villains. Obviously, why I like the Snyderverse. But as soon as I saw that Omega symbol, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening!
I agree, Snyder Queen. I think it would have been too much for two.
What's up, Daryl Taylor?
2 Wonder Woman movies.
By the way, Walsh Elliott asked, did Bruce know Clark was Superman from the very beginning? I don't think so.
No.
The way he acted, Lex knew who they both were.
Lex knew who they both were.
I do love. It's like you should not pick a fight with this man. It's like I just love how blatantly obvious he's making it. It's just so great.
Yeah, but in that nightmare scene though,
say your thing and then I'm gonna go on tangent.
But in that nightmare scene, that I felt like what was really cool as well. We got to see the very first live action parademons on the screen, which really and we got like this Injustice vibe as well when Superman
troopers?
crashed, the troopers and all of that was just amazing. They did it before Injustice actually made it a really big thing.
And by the way, here's an interesting fact. If you may notice that during the nightmare scene, as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull up this specific image, BBS Nightmare. There's this very specific character that actually makes a cameo. By the way, so you remember in the beginning of the movie when the scientists are explaining to the senators about the kryptonite and everything?
Yeah.
The scientist that's in the room with Lex Luthor, that character, that's the dude that makes Metallo. Zach puts all these characters in here. And by the way,
Like Star Sapphire?
yeah, exactly. And there's one more. Carrie Kelly's in this scene.
Really?
So remember when? Okay, so there's a shot that it's in one of the truck trailers, and you see a blonde-haired girl aiming a rifle outside the truck. That's confirmed by Zach. That's Carrie Kelly.
It would have been better if she had a slingshot, because that's what she used in the comics.
But what? She's fighting a universe with Superman. What's a slingshot gonna do?
It's a kryptonite slingshot.
Mm-hmm. That works. But anyway, that nightmare. By the way, I may or may not have ordered the Hot Toys Nightmare Batman and Superman. May or may not.
Also, there's a character that I kind of want to give a shout out that I love seeing. Mercy Graves. We actually got the first live action Mercy Graves, which I think she first premiered in the Superman animated series. And I think the actress does a wonderful job. I really loved her character as kind of like, Lex Luthor's right-hand woman. I think she did a really good job. You could tell she's brutal and just as cutthroat as he is. And I'm actually really sad that they killed her off in that scene because, I wanted to see more of Mercy Graves.
Yeah, she was actually really good. She was a woman of few words, but it actually worked for her character.
Yeah, it was kind of a similar situation with X2, where with Deathstroke, where they never actually named her. The closest they call it is oh, this is my assistant Yuriko. They never call her Deathstrike in the film, but anyone who knows,
we know who that. As soon as the finger claws come out, I'm like, oh, I know who that. Even I knew who that was because I played the X-Men 2 game.
I will say, even though they okay, this is a bit of a tangent for X2, but even though they changed her character completely, it's totally different. It was so well done. Also,
and by the way, Nick, PK has a good point. If Carrie Kelly was in the nightmare scene, she would have been a grown woman who would have used a more effective weapon than a slingshot. My man.
That is true. I was just trying to
play that clip. No, wait. Play that clip.
Which one?
My man.
Oh, okay. You know what?
He's earned it. A man.
And by the way, Master Sergeant, no, this is not the Hot Toy. The Hot Toy's coming in. This is from Iron Studios. It's the Superman statue. I have the Batman one also coming in. It's the black suit Superman.
Yo, that's cool.
Oh, trust me. When the Hot Toys come in, I will be doing an unboxing of them, and I may be unboxing some things from Phoenix Press on camera. We'll have to see what should show up at my door.
It's in the mail.
So
Jared, I have a question. I have a quick question for you. So how are you going to react when you're watching Black Adam, and it's a post-credit scene, and all of a sudden you see the black suit Superman fall down?
Oh, I have a good clip for that. Because here's the thing, and our good friend Snyder Queen, and thank you, that is a beautiful statue. And by the way, Snyder Queen herself tweeted about this today. She or it was yesterday. If he shows up in the black suit, we might as well just start celebrating because we won at that point. That's it. It's over. It's over. And by the way, when it's confirmed, when that scene happens, we will be doing a stream, just a separate stream. That's just going to be us jumping up and down, cheering with the jump around song in the background.
Okay, I hope we really do that for 30 seconds, because that could get both very boring and very exhausting really quick.
No, what we could do though is a full stream where we could just simply say, "Finally," as The Rock would say, "Finally, the SnyderVerse has been restored."
I guess you could say the hierarchy of power has changed.
or more like the hierarchy of power has been restored.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, restored. So
So
back to
Like the Snyder cut.
But-
Snyder cut. The
but back
hierarchy
to-
of power has been restored.
but back to VBS though, Batman vs Superman Ultimate
Yeah.
Edition. Let's talk about the fact that towards the ending of the film, which was, I think personally, something really cool, which we saw was like the extra 30-minute scene that we got, like Lois investigating,
Yeah.
why the bomb scene, and where Lois goes to Wally's apartment, and he could see things weren't exactly touched,
Mhm.
and when she saw the fact that oh yes, Snyder Queen definitely.
Yeah. I'll make a clip of that. We're definitely doing that. Yeah. Oh, and PK absolutely do that.
Yeah. So back to what I was gonna relapse to.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that the fact is, right, when she goes to the apartment, nothing is touched. She straight up says, "Look, he didn't know he was gonna die. He literally
And
thought he
then-
was sick."
Because why would he go food shopping?
Yeah,
And
why?
then, like, yeah, that was a great moment. Like when she opened the door, you don't even see it. Like she opens the door, you can't even see what's inside. She's like, he bought groceries. Why would he buy groceries? And then she runs out, and like it's that moment that literally makes the movie. That is like the keystone to everything in the movie. Everything in that movie hinges on that moment, and everything falls like without it, the whole movie literally fell apart.
And Godot is not on ice. Her movie's on ice. That doesn't mean that Godot is gone. Just wanna really, because do you really think that Zack Snyder is not going to bring Godot back if he does the other movies?
No,
You don't
Godot,
think
Godot,
And by the
You don't
way,
think Zack Snyder will bring one back?
for those of you that don't know, this is Lad.
Oh.
What's up, dude? How you doing? And as a Spider-Man fan, I have to give you this.
With great power comes great responsibility.
There's Lad. There you go. What's up, brother?
I think
If you
this
want a
was the
link,
first-
let me know. And if you want to hang out for a bit, in fact, I'll just go ahead and send that anyway.
I think that was the first non-Snyderverse clip you've ever used. So that's
Okay.
the first.
I've used it
Okay.
before.
yeah.
Oh.
But with me here, that's the first. But
Okay.
anyway, but what's also cool about in BVS, Ultimate Edition, after that scene was done, was Clark going to the mountains. Clark literally went to go.
That is
find
an
himself.
important scene. I'm so glad that you transitioned to it, because I really wanted to talk about that scene next.
Yeah, because he goes up to the mountain, and he has like, I don't know what it is, a vision or whether it's whatever it is, but he speaks to his father, Jonathan Kent, and Jonathan talks about the importance to
Oh.
Clark about life and stuff.
And by the way, Jarrett, in terms of that, I believe Nick knows what we're gonna want at that point. Her name is Amelia Clark.
Why did
I'm
you
a-
say that name?
Oh yeah, actually that very good, Nick.
Why did you say that name?
And by the way, just real quick, just want to address this. Medina, this week is just a closed panel. I invited Lad because he's actually a co-host of the channel, so it makes sense that I would send him a thing. But typically, these are going to be like closed panels.
Yeah. But also, what did you guys think about that scene though, with the whole like Clark going to find himself while Lois is doing the investigation?
All right, I'll go
I think
first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, thing I saw about it is that, first off, it's more of John Kent being a father, so I think that's really important. And if you notice that's all about, like, it essentially is why Clark comes back, because he gets that motivating speech from his father saying that, because he asked his father, he goes, okay, so when did the people when did you stop hearing those horses like screams? He goes, when I met your mother. I have to focus on her. She's your North Star. And that sets up not only him coming back and sacrificing himself in this movie, but Justice League 3. I mean 2 and 3, because that's the whole thing. Lois Lane's the key.
Also,
And
I really
yes,
like Snyder Queen's idea.
Wonder Woman 3 being a yes.
And I think that might be happening, Snyder Queen. I have to tell you guys, I think that might be the case.
And Lawrence
Because-
Snyder, yes.
Can we call it Wonder Woman Trinity?
No,
Ooh.
no,
Because
No.
it's the
No.
third movie. It's a Trinity movie. It makes sense.
no,
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 it doesn't.
no, it doesn't. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Yeah.
Because here's why, Nick. The Trinity movie, if anything labeled Trinity, has to be its own movie.
Yes.
Watch them name it Wonder Woman Super Friends. That'd be hilarious.
But
Daryl Taylor says, "Well, I'm not watching. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so that's just me."
no, but yeah.
And
but,
Jarrett, that plan was thrown out even before I believed Justice League because Snyder believed that was stupid.
Yeah.
Even Snyder realized just how stupid an idea that is.
Listening to her voice. Oh, and also that's another thing. You notice how Clark, when he is like doubtful of his abilities and stuff, he calls his mom.
agreed. Yeah.
There's a very strong theme of motherhood in this movie that is like really that when you think about it, it's a motherhood. It's a great Mother's Day movie.
Yeah, it's a very important life lesson too. Do you remember the first film, fatherhood? Second film, motherhood. Third film, what about the wifehood?
Fellowship. That's what it
So
is because it's a Justice League movie.
So you're saying that if you're getting beat to crap by Superman, just say Martha, and he'll be so disoriented you can run away.
And Daryl Taylor, I doubt that severely, but I would love for that to happen
I would
so
love-
much.
I want a live action Granny Goodness. Can I get a guy?
Well, you're gonna get that when they do JL Part 2, because guess what? Snyder himself confirmed. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring in the Furies.
Yeah, the female Furies,
Oh,
the Granny Goodness.
Also, there's only one woman who can play Big Barda, Gina Carano.
That would be hilarious. You kidding me?
I mean, they're probably gonna cast Ronda Rousey, but like Gina Carano is really the only one who can do it.
I think Zach would cast another unknown. That's what Zach does.
Zach
I mean,
has
sure.
really good actors. So, but anyway,
It's got to be like a big woman, like a UFC wrestler type woman to do it, you know.
yeah. But back to the movie though. What are your thoughts though? Like getting towards the end with the BVS fight scene.
Okay.
My-
Speaking of that
okay,
fight scene,
my-
wait.
I gotta say,
Which fight scene at the end? Because there's two of them.
The very first battle between Batman and Superman. You know where
breathe it in.
No.
That's fear.
no, he's like, it says,
That's it.
I won't break you. What is it called? Come in peace, Bruce. Listen to me.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
the fight.
freaking love the interaction between the two. Oh my gosh.
Mind you, would you believe that was shot in 2014, July of 2014? I remember the specific month and year it was because in 2013 they did it in San Diego Comic Con. What did they do?
Oh
The
yeah. It was the dude that plays Martian Manhunter, by the way. Again, seeing him, knowing who he actually is like a mind explosion. But anyway, yeah, my boy. But anyway, when that actor came out and he read that exact scene from Dark Knight Returns where he goes, I want you to remember in all your private moments, the one man who, my hand at your throat, the one man who beat you, Clark. And then it fades out. The Superman logo comes on. And then the Batman logo comes in. The place explodes.
Star Sapphire was actually.
Yes, she is. She's not like Star Sapphire yet, but it is. When I was watching the movie today, I'm like,
Major Ferris.
Yeah, Major Ferris.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, there you go. If he
They
mentions
name dropped her at least 2 or 3 times. Like 2 or 3 times they name dropped her.
what would be great is if she knows he's Martian Manhunter and she actually is Star Sapphire. It's just they're saving her for Justice League 3 when all the Green Lanterns showed up. Because can you imagine Hal Jordan shows up?
I don't think she's
Oh.
Star Sapphire yet. Because like if she was Star Sapphire, she would have been at the battle with Doomsday. There's no way she would not have been there.
Well, it could no. It could be that Martian Manhunter told her, not yet.
I mean, is she really beholden to him? Like, militarily wise.
She
but,
trusts him, though. If she knows he's Martian Manhunter and she is Star Sapphire, she trusts him.
I mean, maybe. Also, I do want to say one thing about BVS. it was actually filmed in Detroit. A
Nice.
lot of the scenes were actually filmed literally 40 minutes from where I live. So, Jared, when you come to visit me, we're taking the Batman v Superman tour.
That'll be so much fun. That's a great idea.
There's an app that you can get on your phone where you can visit all the locations in Detroit.
We're so doing that.
You can visit Metropolis. Just come visit me.
And by the way, one thing Dennis says, one thing I love about BVS is that's 2 hours of build-up capped by 1 hour of some of the best action in movie history. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, so we get the fight between Batman and Superman. And I think we talked about the Martha scene ad nauseum. We've explained it. Do you want to talk about what happens next?
I thought she was with you.
No. There's one other thing. Batman goes and saves Martha in one of the most amazing Batman fight scenes ever in a movie.
I'm sorry. I don't care if you say I'm wrong, but I'm actually right. That scene was ripped straight from the Arkham games.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There is no
That was
doubt.
clearly an Arkham's. You know what's kind of funny? Whenever I play Arkham Knight and I'm in the BVS suit, this scene is playing in my head on repeat.
I mean, just the way that he takes him down, the way
He parries and all that.
Like literally, there's a scene where we're literally doing the fight scene one for one. You know, like a bunch of bad guys, and like the way it's choreographed is literally from the Arkham games. It's like so 1-to-1.
And Lauren Snyder, she was not in this movie. She's in the Batfleck movie.
She was going to be in the Batfleck movie, not in BVS.
Well, she might be in a future Batfleck movie. I mean, I really feel like this version of Supergirl is not going to go away. They're probably just going to work.
Snyder Queen is correct. The most amazing Batman fight scene ever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everyone hails the Nolan movies, but if you look at those battle scenes, they're not as good as people remember. This one, Batman's like parodying. I love where he punches that dude and his neck goes right into the ground. He's like punching this dude. He gets a shot in the back of the head and he just shrugs it off. And I'm like, that is Batman.
So my favorite moment is when the guy kind of like stabs him in the chest. And what he does is he takes a knife and then stabs
him into a wall.
Like, yeah. I really like every time he does that, I say, "Hey, you drop this."
And actually, here's a good point. It was so good because it looked less choreographed and more street. The brutality was perfectly comic book. And if you read Dark Knight Returns, that pretty much happened. That whole scene.
Yeah.
In the comic and in the animated movie.
Can we like talk about like literally the best joke in the whole movie where like right after he saves Martha, he says, I'm a friend of your son.
I figured
the cape.
Yeah. Like, by the way, I love that one.
I love Diane. I love Martha's face. He's got like, I'm so happy to be alive. I'll say anything. Like,
yeah, Dennis actually read my mind here. I love where the goon takes the pin out of the grenade, just stands there, doesn't even throw it, and then Batman kicks a dude at him. Oh, by the way, my favorite all-time Batman scene is when Lex is coming to the building and the camera pans to CCTV, and you just see Batman just drop down, grab someone, and then lift up. That was in the Ultimate Edition. And Nick, I know you probably didn't get to see that, but it was like it is just like, and again, just like Arkham. Basically, what Snyder did, he probably played the crap out of the Arkham series and was like, I want this for my Batman.
I mean, I always knew Zack Snyder had good taste. It's good to know he has good taste in video games as well.
Yeah, and yes, it's a 2-second clip, but if there's anything that's Batman more than the Nolan movies, it's that one.
Also,
let me put it this way. I was very hesitant about Ben Affleck as Batman up until the point I saw all these scenes. And I was like, nope, he can do it. He can do it. He's good.
Also, if we're talking about like just like Batman, his armor suit, the fact that it had the glowing white eyes.
The glowing eyes!
That was so great. Like, that was so on point.
Well, by the way, there's one scene I want to talk about in that scene. Actually, there are two parts of that Batman v Superman fight that I want to talk about real quick. It's the scene when Superman is first hit by the kryptonite gas. He goes to punch Batman, and Batman just blocks it. You see the look in Superman's face. He's like, what? And then I love that scene. Batman is punching Clark's face, and then the kryptonite wears off, and Clark is like,
Yeah, it's like progressive. It's like progressively, he's like going back and backlash. It's actually borderline slapstick. Like
Yeah, it is.
like that like. Also, I love like that scene. They kind of do a mixture of like light slapstick elements mixed with like kind of gothic horror a little bit. Like I just really like that scene.
And
It's
by the
very
way,
well done.
Master Sergeant here really is like dropping some knowledge here. Batman's entirely brutal in the comic books. Yes, he hits people with the Batmobile many times. This is why I roll my eyes at haters who seem to want Batman to be nice to the bad guys. That's not Batman.
Here's the thing about Batman. He won't kill, but he'll go right up to that line.
Well,
You know,
he'll kill.
Like
He'll kill.
He'll put. Well, I'm just saying. Even the Batman when he has the no kill rule, even
Yeah.
that version of Batman, he'll put you in the hospital for 8 to 10 months. He'll make you a freaking vegetable, but he won't kill you.
And Lambda, my favorite are the people that bring up, oh, Batman doesn't kill. I love Michael Keaton. But you can like Michael Keaton more than Ben Affleck. That's totally fine. But be intellectually honest enough to admit that that you're being a little hypocritical in this
Michael
point.
Keaton. Okay, Batman does kill, and also I like Michael Keaton.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I am making a clip and notice that more when Superman gets punched blocked. Yeah, exactly. It's like I just love it, and that was even in the trailer too. And you can see people react. And by the way, I just want to bring up this one reaction with us with this one interaction.
Do you bleed?
I just love that. And then
Promise.
alive is a very broad term. Yes.
I gotta say, like that is like I can see Batman saying that. Like I could see like a more
Yeah, he could.
wisecracking Batman. Alive is a very broad.
And by the way, all the bone breaking doesn't result in deaths. The no kill code is a fantasy. Yeah. And by the way, him shooting people with those riot suppressive guns, if you shoot someone with a beanbag at a high enough velocity, which I guarantee you those cannons are firing, yeah, they're dead. They're dead. And he has killed. He has in every iteration he's killed. He killed Darkseid.
Killed Darkseid, and he had guns.
Why did you say that? Yeah, and he had guns. Wait, he killed Darkseid with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, at this point, just stop. Okay, go ahead, Teladia.
So let's talk about the final battle.
Oh, okay. So I need to share an image because And by the way, Snyder Queen, Do You Bleed really highlighted how little he knows about the characters. Yeah, there was no reason for Clark to say that. He's a man. Of course he bleeds.
Yeah, it's like this is why so many writers they just skim the surface level of what's there. It's like, oh hey, look, there, do you bleed? That was a famous line from the first movie. I'm going to do a callback without understanding the context of it. You know?
No. Tevya, he as far as Batman knew, he killed Darkseid. It doesn't matter if Darkseid came back. Batman shot him thinking he had killed Darkseid. That's the key. That's the key.
The Nolan Batman killed. The Nolan Batman.
I won't save you. Yeah, I don't have to kill you. So now that we're talking about the final battle,
I will defend like the technicality a little bit, but yeah, he did kill him.
And by the way, so first when Doomsday first shows up, I hope you noticed that when Superman saved Lex from being punched by Doomsday, that was the direct like reflection of like when Lex said, "No one came to save me from Daddy's fists and abominations."
It's almost like Zack Snyder is a good writer who knows what he's doing.
Well, it was Chris Terra, but it's almost like Zack Snyder understands DC than the anti-Snyder people. And by the way, okay, so we get that Doomsday fight, which results in what should have been the biggest reveal when she's walking. No, not that. Before that, when she's walking off the plane, they go, Miss Prince. I'm like, that would have been like the biggest in the movie theaters as soon as you heard Miss Prince. I'm like, what? Did she?
But here's what I think. I think that it was already planned out because they used the metahumans to set up the Justice League. I think that whole thing was rushed by the Warner Brothers themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they interfered with the movie heavily. So
I mean, honestly, if there's one scene I would cut from both versions, it is the PowerPoint presentation of all the heroes and whatnot. You know, like maybe have it be like towards the end of the movie where like Wonder Woman's in her hotel room and like one of the final scenes is her looking through those files, but not right before the final fight because that's like it's kind of weird. But like,
yeah,
hey,
I think
we need to find more of us. and then the post, maybe have it be a post-credit scene.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. That's the one thing I would change about BVS. Move that one because it still fits at the end of the movie. Put it as the post-credit scene because as far as I know, BVS does not have a post-credit scene. Make that the post-credit and just say, okay, so just have that's when he sends her the email because she was gonna show up at that final battle no matter what. It wasn't like that email that made her go, I'm gonna go save Bruce.
Like narratively, it just makes more sense. You know, like maybe have the computer screen and like have that meta file on there. It's kind of like a visual tease, but like have her be at the hotel room, like because like at the final funeral scene, Bruce is like, we need to find more of us, and have the post credit scene being like she looks at the file more and she clicks on that metahuman file, which you did, which was shown in that, but you just showed the photo, so it's like teasing, so they know it's there. You click on it, and then it opens up. And then, you know, music plays, you get the whole thing plays out.
So then we get to the actual Doomsday fight. So Batman brings him to Gotham because it's more like isolated, so they don't have to worry about civilian casualties, anti-Man of Steel people. And then we get, okay. Then Doomsday shows up, is about to kill Batman. Batman swears, which I was like, yes. And then he shoots heat vision. And then what should happen? The best Wonder Woman music ever.
Wait, the most epic entrance in the DCEU.
Oh yeah, I will so do that. Yeah, yes, Nick.
We're talking about the Wonder Woman music. I need to get a shout out to both Hans Zimmer and Tina Gao for like, because she's the one who did.
Oh, that cello thing, yeah.
Like Tina deserves a lot of credit for the intensity of that scene. Like, if you get a chance, watch the music video she did. It is, oh my god, it is fire.
And Nolan treated Bruce could not care less how many cops were killed during the chase. Oh yeah, the car chase. Alfred said, "Lucky no one was killed, so secured the code." Snyder and Burton refused to cheat. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and there's one other scene. Okay, so there's an image that I want to share, and this was possibly the coolest image in the DCEU. This right here. When this happened in live action. When the Trinity shows up in one movie, as a fan, these three are my favorite superheroes of all time. When this happened,
Also, notice how their formation is a triangle. They knew what they were doing.
Trinity, yeah.
Like, they purposely had Wonder Woman standing a little bit further ahead than the other three, specifically so that they could form a triangle. They deliberately did that because they could have had her just standing side by side with the other three of them, but they literally put her ahead. And also, you noticed Wonder Woman is the tip of the Trinity. She is the tip of the spear,
tip of the sword, you would say. So let's see who else. Yeah, Dick Grayson getting killed was okay. Hot takes. I'll send you the link in a second. And Lawrence, I always maintain killing off Dick Grayson was a mistake. Debatable, but yeah, the Trinity.
I agree with them. I feel like it should have been a Jason Todd.
It could have been a better hint. Yeah. Okay. So.
Well, here's the okay. Can I have the plot?
Yeah. Go ahead. Actually, you know what? Hang on one sec. I'm gonna do this.
Okay. So the thing about yes, Lindsay Sterling's awesome. But the thing about Dick Grayson is the one who dies is Jason Todd. And if they kill Jason Todd, that opens up the story progress for Red Hood. So by having it be Dick Grayson, you kind of ruin your possibility of doing, because like a Batfleck movie could be an under the Red Hood movie. That would have been perfect. But like with Dick Grayson being killed, yeah, you could do it. But like it would make more sense to me have it be Jason Todd, you know. But
here's the thing. Snyder could always correct that. He could always go back in and say, okay, I'm just going to paint that out and put...
retcon it.
Retcon it.
Okay, where's my Sharpie? Okay, let's just scribble out Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. Okay, we're doing a Red Hood movie now.
By the way, Snyder killed off Robin because he was determined to tell the story he wanted to tell while Warner Brothers kept pushing the DCEU. Caught between storytelling and Warner Brothers universe building. That is true. That is true.
But here's my problem. Why? Like, it's just a costume in there. Like, literally, having the costume there barely adds anything into the movie. Like, you could literally airbrush out that suit. You could literally take it out of the whole movie, and it wouldn't change anything.
But here's the
So-
thing: you could keep that in and just airbrush out the tombstone that says Dick Grayson,
Yeah.
and just say it was Jason Todd. Because actually, what's interesting, Jason Todd was the first Robin in the Frank Miller universe. You could make it that, and now that Batman's hopeful again, he decides I'm ready for a new Robin. And by the way, I want to 2 reasons. One, because now humankind embraces Superman because they don't see him as a threat. He gave his life for us. And 2, it's important for Superman because, to quote Zach, it's like, okay, so now Superman has gone through the entire human experience. So that's the way I always took it. And then Diana's always in front. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think that too.
I mean, with this, I mean, I wouldn't mind standing behind Wonder Woman, if you know what I mean.
And by Tavia,
man.
I think I would prefer it if Damian Wayne was the one that got killed. I'm just gonna drop that in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Damian Wayne is like really far in the timeline of Robins because like you got Tim Drake, you're kind of skipping over 2 Robins.
Did you really not get my joke?
You know, he didn't. He didn't get
Because
it.
Tevye is a big fan of the Super Sons.
Oh, okay.
That was making a joke, of course.
Sorry, it went over my helmet.
He was tasked with coming up with a reason for the Justice League even existing. Warner Bros. Wanted impossible. Yes, because here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to leave this up. That's another reason why to kill Superman, because it gives Bruce the more motivation to form the League. Because guess what? There's no one to protect Earth now. So he's like, I made a promise on his grave, he says in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Well, Tevye, that's in the comics.
That's in the comics, not the movies. I'm talking about the movie. And by
Yeah.
he was I get the feeling, judging by how inspired this man was from Frank Miller, he's gonna use Carrie Kelly.
And honestly, I think that probably would be a good idea.
Oh, it
Like,
was. Oh, that's interesting.
It's like if you want to do a female Robin, doing Carrie Kelly is probably the best way to go about it.
And by the way, here's an interesting. PK says there is no Dick Grayson gravestone in the movie, so Zach could obviously just say, "Okay, it's Jason Todd now."
So what you're saying is all this hoopla about Dick Grayson is literally not even in the movie. It's not even technically canon, even in the Zack Snyder version.
Oh, and that. Wait, hold on. Also, that is
So
true,
yeah,
Tevye.
it's Jason
wait.
Todd. Jason Todd was. The one who killed-
Here's another thing we gotta mention here. We get Steppenwolf in this movie.
A CGI Steppenwolf, yes.
I'm like, what?
All right, so here's my headcanon regarding the Robins. Dick Grayson happened, but he got fed up with Bruce, and he left him on his own. He wants nothing to do with him, and he's just kind of there, but he doesn't talk to Bruce. And then he did Jason Todd, and then Jason Todd was the one that got killed, and that made Dick Grayson not even want to talk to him even more. Maybe Dick Grayson's doing his Nightwing stuff in Bloodhaven. You know, it's like, so I think there's a
Because here's the thing.
For Nightwing to exist.
Because here's the thing. If you look at the original DCEU film slate, there was a Nightwing movie in the DCEU, in the Snyderverse. So at some point, he would have to come back.
Also, I just want a live action Under the Red Hood movie, and I want Jensen Ackles to play
Jensen
live
Ackles
action
has to play Red Hood at that point. I would love for that to happen. He could so do it.
Is somebody phone ringing?
Yeah, it's my phone. Sorry about that. Okay, but
That was mine for a moment.
yeah, and that's also true. For Man of Steel, Warner Brothers wanted BVS and then a Justice League. Yeah, exactly. People were like, "Why are you skipping to Justice League so early?" Because Warner Brothers wanted it, and they wanted to have 30 minutes cut from it, which is very. And I had this discussion with someone that it was Zach that chose the scenes to get cut out, because Warner Brothers said this has to happen in the movie. So Zach had to sacrifice certain parts of the movie. So really, it was Warner Brothers' fault.
No, Lawrence, he triggered her memory. I think Jenna Malone was supposed to play Carrie Kelly. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that bonus character was rumored to be Carrie Kelly.
Oh my God, so for those who don't know, Jenna Malone was in Hunger Games. She was the tree one. She was the tree tribute, the one with the axe. She is an amazing actress, and I would have loved to see her as Carrie Kelly. Oh my! And I actually remember the news reports, them talking about that when this was new. and like, oh my god, I would have loved to see Jenna Malone as Carrie Kelly.
He could do it.
I'm having a fangasm. Like, I'm just like,
Hot Takes actually has an interesting fact. He could play great Hal Jordan, but I think he would be better on the thing. And by the way, so it was only confirmed by Zach on a Vera post. There's nothing in the movie that says it's Dick Grayson, so he could just change his mind and go, okay, Jason Todd.
So my headcanon is just as valid as anything else.
Absolutely. As long as it's not in the movie, there's nothing really stopping Zach from saying.
Finally, I can talk about like how it's Jason Todd. You guys will get on me about it.
Oh, and by the way, PK makes a good point. People were like, "Why'd you do Death of Superman so early?" Snyder's 5-film plan was always Superman centered, 1, and 2. When you cut Superman's modern career timeline to fits, Death of Superman happens rather early, so it's already comic accurate. And then she ended up playing Jeanette Clyburn, who was an existing Superman character from the late 80s and early 90s.
Where did that happen?
Don't know. It's probably like who she was credited.
Was she actually in the movie? Was this in a separate piece of media? Because like I think people are like kind of confusing canons. Because Tevia talks about Carrie Kelly showing up in Titans, which there was actually a Carrie Kelly cameo. It was like one screen.
Yeah,
Titans is a separate continuity from Snyder.
I wish it was the same continuity.
Tevia, this is completely different to the DCEU. You got to remember, we're talking about DCEU here. We're not talking about Titans or Super Sons or any of that stuff.
Yeah, like, I feel like a lot of people are kind of mixed. Like, and I don't even blame them really. There's so many different continuities that like it's kind of hard to see like, okay, what ties into what, you know. So like, I don't even blame people for mixing up the continuities. I'm not.
And here's the thing about this hot takes. I'm actually saving you for the Zack Snyder's Justice League panel we're going to have pretty soon, because we're going to talk about the Snyder Cut. So I want to have you on the Snyder Cut panel specifically, because you and I had a great discussion when we came on the panel for that.
Yeah, and we will be having Chris, DC Comics Gamer, as well, my co-host.
Yeah, so we're going to have a larger panel than usual for the Snyder Cut one. That's why I'm saving you, Hot Takes, because I know that, because for those of you that don't know, he and I did an episode a little while back, and we spent like half an episode like raving about Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's why I really want to, I'm saving you for that, brother. And hopefully we get a Teen Titans movie. Hell yes, I want that. And she had 2 scenes with Amy Adams investigating the bullet, and she told Lois, by the way, the wheelchair part, the part where they actually told her it was in lead, was not in the theatrical cut, so everyone thought he was an idiot. What? Mm-hmm. And by the way, Tevye brings up a good point. I had to bring up Carrie Kelly mostly because Zack Snyder's inspired with Batman Returns. Yes, exactly. And earlier I mentioned, according to Zack, I believe, and Snyder Queen and any of the people on the panel can correct me, she was the one in the and the reason why and yes, we mentioned her because one of the people in the nightmare sequence, I believe, is Carrie Kelly, according to Zack. And so, Snyder Queen, you can back me up on that. So, now I have another scene from the Doomsday fight that I want to bring up, and it's like even more like solidifies why Zack is, I think, the best visual director. In a second, Nick, why I think he's the best visual director for a comic book movie. What's up?
So before we go on, that there's one shot that like I love is when they're fighting Doomsday and like one woman get knocked back. You see her like look at him and she's like smiling.
And by the way,
she's like, I'm enjoying this.
And when Doomsday punches her, he gets recoiled backwards a little bit. The detail in this movie. Also in that scene, when I saw this in the theaters for the first time, by the way, this following scene. Oh, I want to talk about BS a lot. Actually, I'll bring you on it in a second, but in a second. So when this scene came on, I was freaking out in the movie theater. Look at that!
Dragon Ball Z eats your heart out.
Dude, when that happened, that is like one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen in a DC movie.
And this is better than doing them.
Sorry, it's like that scene is so anime. It's like Beam's struggle, like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So after that, with his death coming, he really did hit everybody. His sacrifice, Superman's sacrifice, was a big thing. That score, though, by Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer, masterpiece.
Junkie XL is like, oh my gosh, dude.
Masterpiece.
And yes, that was. What pisses me off is that he makes Wonder Woman a badass, but she can't even fight. But then she can't even fight Superman. There's a very specific story reason why Superman won the entire Justice League, and plus, he's always been able to like one-on-one anyone in the Justice League, and it was just really to show that why it was to hype up how powerful Superman is to fight Steppenwolf.
He did see. The thing is, Wonder Woman, he was holding her own against Doomsday, but there's no way she could have beat him. Like he was like holding her own, but she was barely holding on.
Yeah, she kept getting knocked around.
Like literally, the only thing that killed Doomsday was a spear. Even Superman was having trouble with Doomsday, and even if you watch the Justice League fight, like Wonder Woman can take hits from Superman, but like she can't hold on to Superman. Like she's like close to his power level. It's like Superman's right here, Wonder Woman's kind of right here. He's like close to his power level, but
because
not,
because it's Superman. It's simple as.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of the criticisms of the Snyder cut that I get that really pisses me off is when people say, "Well, Steppenwolf completely like destroyed the League up until Superman showed up," and I'm like, "You obviously have never read a Justice League comic because that's always the way it turns out. When Superman shows up, that's when the battle turns."
That's when the Titans.
Steppenwolf is like Steppenwolf is on a whole new. Let's like Steppenwolf is a galactic level threat. A lot of these characters are city threats. I'm using like versus scaling here, like city to city level, maybe international threats, but like none of them are planet destroyers. Superman is a planet destroyer. Steppenwolf is solar system or universal destroyer.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Nerd Man. What's up, brother?
Peace. I don't know if I should switch off my camera because
it's all good.
It's all good.
Whatever.
Lay it on us, brother. Lay it on us.
What's up? So we're talking about BVS. What?
Repping Joker, by the way.
What's up? All right, so we're talking about BVS. Your thoughts, brother?
Complicated. I actually genuinely thought it was really good when I first saw it, and I still really like it. I think it's flawed. I can see this is my thing. I can understand more why people don't like this movie than they don't like Zack Snyder's Justice League. But mainly the reasons that any things that I have problems with in this movie are just it's just regarding stuff that are kind of comic book nerdy comic book nerdy kind of things about interpretations of characters. But I don't think those are valid film criticisms.
No, there's not.
That's how I've always looked at it. If I'm gonna go
people have tried.
Sorry, say that again.
You said no valid film criticisms, and I'm like, yeah, well, people have tried.
I'm fed up with it. Honestly, I'm so fed up of people who are supposed nerds or whatever going, oh, this isn't my whatever character, and that's why I'm gonna hate on a film. The film is something else. Do you know what I mean? The film is an artist's interpretation of those characters, and it's not going to be what's in your head. It's very rarely going to be what's in your head.
And by the way, Nerdman, you'll appreciate this. I was on a debate with someone about Superman in this movie and in Justice League or something like that, or in Man of Steel. But my point is that someone said, well, my Superman wouldn't do that. And I said, what makes your Superman more valid than mine in a publishing house that's built on having multiple versions of these characters.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about it. It's like in the end of the day, like you might not like a kind of interpretation of something. And for Superman, I'm a little bit sensitive about it because I know how mainly because of how Warner Brothers is as a studio. Like once it doesn't quite work, they just like give up on the characters like Green Lantern or Superman and stuff like that. But other than that, to me, I'd much rather see a version of a character that is somebody's, vision of that character than them trying to play it safe and appease everyone, and it just be a bland movie.
And by the way,
that's what usually happens when you try and appease everyone. When you try and just be like, oh, I'm not gonna stir up anything. I'm not gonna, and make it completely non-offensive. Then it's just like, okay, well then maybe it's a fun movie to watch once, but it's just something you just put away after.
And by the way, Lawrence Snyder, he's not my favorite. The only reason I needed to see more build up, of course. So Nick, you have a point?
To kind of build off of what Hot Takes is saying, it's like if you try pleasing everyone, you end up pleasing nobody.
And you end up with a movie like Justice League. So,
can I just say, like I got really sick and tired of like going on to YouTube and like everyone they're being like, let's rewrite Batman v Superman. Let's fix this movie.
And they're always shit, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all terrible.
They're always terrible. That's the funny thing about it.
They'll try and turn BVS into a Marvel movie, and I'm like, please God, no.
It is like literally the most base level stuff. It's like if any of these people even got the chance of pitching these stories to execs, they literally get laughed out of the room. And these are supposedly people who portray themselves like we're high culture intellectual critics. We know what we're doing. If you knew what you're doing, why aren't you making Batman v Superman instead of Zack Snyder?
Case in point, by the way. So I'll never forget this. This was an experience that has stuck with me for years. So I was driving to school one day, and by the way, I get the hype for Christopher Reeves, but he ain't my Superman. He's probably number 3 behind the animated series in Cavill. I'll agree with that. But anyway,
that's crazy, dude.
Christopher Reeve or bust. You have every right to your opinion, even if I think it's wrong.
The Snyder Queen's never wrong. Just want to bring that up. So anyway, so here's what I was going to say. So I was driving to school, and for some reason I had NPR on the car. For some weird reason. So they were talking about Wonder Woman. This was when Wonder Woman came out. And they went, oh, Wonder Woman was so happy and positive. They should have made Batman versus Superman like this. And I'm like, wait a second. This is Batman. First off, you can't make Batman as I am wrong at times. Well, I've never encountered that situation. But anyway, but wait. You have the wisdom of Zeus. Of course, you're one of the gods that gives you your powers. Is that?
I think you're going for Athena.
Yeah, Athena. The wisdom of Athena. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and by the way, Lawrence Snyder Queen, always talking fact. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Tatevia. Batman is always dark and gritty for lots of reasons. And
wait a second.
Go ahead.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
So Batman, you can't make happy and light, but Superman, you can make dark and gritty.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So Superman, you can make dark and gritty when that doesn't really traditionally fit his character, but Batman, it's okay. It's not okay. I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's really it's unbelievable with some of these people.
No, I'm asking you the question. I'm being critical of what you're saying.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
asking you the question. Why is it okay to make why is it not okay to make Batman lighthearted, but it's okay to make Superman gritty and dark?
I agree.
When it's a traditional.
Amen.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the difference is that nowadays Batman is not portrayed as that. And there have been dark portrayals of Superman, like the new 52 Superman. Now, listen, if you guys don't like the new 52 Superman, that's fine. But what you have to realize that was the comic book material that was informing
At
DC
the
Comics
time.
at the time. Yes,
But it
that's
was
why you
very,
got.
it was very divisive, even in the comics.
Yes, 100%, and that's what I'm saying is that they'll say it's not my Superman. My Superman was like the. This is another really funny one I got. It's like it was like someone said my Superman was like the John Byrne Man of Steel Superman, and I'm like, you do realize that Superman was pretty dark as well. And by the way, Snyder Queen, I may have found the one thing you're wrong about.
John Byrne. No one's read that. I swear to God, nobody has read that John Byrne.
Everyone has said
thing.
they have, but
They say they have because it's actually not very good. Like
Yeah.
I've read it, and I'm like, I don't like it as Superman.
And by the way,
like it's very Anyway, go on.
And Nerdman, to answer your question, I'm going to use PK's comment to answer this. Is that yes? So here's the thing: so what Snyder was giving with the sort of dark Earth Superman, but actually he wasn't as dark as people portray him to be if you actually watch the movies. But I'm going off of that. But
I'd say Man of Steel is actually a fairly light movie. Like,
nah.
But anyway, so what I was saying is that because Snyder was giving us realistically what would happen if these characters existed in the real world as they existed now. If you have a character that has like the powers of a god, he's going to be like that. And people are going to be very, very distrustful. If you have someone that watched their parents get killed, yeah, they're going to be a little depressed.
Who are you talking about? Superman?
No. But I'm reacting to what you said. I'm talking about the full argument about why you can't have Batman be like this uppity, like essentially Adam West like guy, because that doesn't work with the realistic portrayal. And by Tevia, I know why you're not a fan of the new 52 Supermans because of the Super Sons. I got it.
Yeah, we get.
But can I? All right, like, just to like,
yeah,
because one of the things I came on to talk about was Lex Luthor. And,
okay. Yeah.
How
as a matter of fact,
I really like Lex Luthor in this movie. But I just want to go off just quickly what you were saying.
Sure.
So that I understand it. Like, so there are parts in this movie, right, where Superman says things that even go beyond the new 52 Superman, that even go beyond any Superman I've ever seen, that really take it to a level of, wow, that's uncomfortable to watch Superman say. Now, again, as I said, I appreciate that strategy more than trying to just play it safe. But he really took it far. And I don't know what the artistic purpose of it was till this day. So, for instance, Superman turns around to Lois Lane at a certain point and he just goes, I don't think nobody stays good in this world, Lois. And it's like, literally, if you take that scene out of the movie, it doesn't make any difference to the movie.
I think it's
and yet it was something that you had to know, unless you're just completely oblivious, was going to massively piss off fans. Like, I don't understand how they couldn't, unless nobody who was making that film has any understanding of the reception and the meaning of Superman to the general, to Superman fans. Right? Like, how can you get away with saying a line like that when it doesn't even play into the story? It's not like part of his arc.
Actually,
is it part of his arc? If you can explain to me how
actually
that's part
it is.
Of his arc, please.
Okay.
Can I take this one? Can I take it?
Yes, Nick. Go ahead, and I'll go off of what Nick says.
So within the context of that scene, basically you got to realize where Clark is at this point. His mother is being held hostage. And if he does not kill Batman, if he cannot get Batman to to come to his side, he's gonna have to kill Batman. Okay?
Yeah,
and he knows that. He knows that. And in his heart he knows he wants to get Batman, persuade him to come back to his side, but he knows that might not be possible. So he has to be mentally prepared to kill Batman to save his mother. Basically, at this point, Lex Luthor's already won. Like, Lex Luthor's already won the game. And
I like that about the movie. But that's so I'm listening to you. Go on.
Oh, okay, sorry. And so at this point, Clark is feeling very disillusioned because he's in a Kobayashi Maru, like no-win scenario, where like if he doesn't kill Batman, his mom dies. So he basically killed his mother. But if he doesn't kill Batman, his mom's like one person is gonna die tonight, according to this situation. And so Clark's feeling very trapped right now, and that's why he says it. So within the context of where he is in that moment, I think it makes sense. That's what I believe.
Do you think there's any issue though? And I want to come back to what you're saying because I think that was an interesting response. Do you think there's any issue with how he tries to communicate that his mother is captured when they're having the fight?
I mean,
because I'll tell
thing?
you, yeah, not just the Martha thing. The Martha thing, I don't understand why people have a problem with.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
like when he's trying to communicate to Batman before he even he shows up and he's like, we've got to stop, blah blah blah. But he just keeps like not telling him for some reason. It's like he keeps just fighting him for no reason, rather than just go, hey, this guy's kidnapped my mom.
Because first, okay, so Superman lands. He goes, Bruce, I kind of need your help. You have to listen to me. It's Lex's fault. Yeah, he does.
Can we at least say what he says? Because that's not what he says.
No, he lands. He goes, I was wrong. Bruce, you have to listen to me. It's Luthor as he walks. And then that's when Superman's hit with the first Batman trap, which is those sonic cannons. He takes him down. And then he goes, you don't understand. And then Batman's like, I understand fine. Throughout the entire fight, Superman keeps trying to get the fight to stop. He goes, stand down. If I wanted it, you'd be dead already. I clearly don't want to kill you, dude.
Yeah, he does try to. He does try to
multiple times. And
no, but he doesn't really. I mean, it's not that hard. Like if you're Superman, right, and you're in a fight with a human being who doesn't pose that much of a threat to you, isn't that hard to literally? He could have just literally held him at one point and just kept him there and told him.
But let's not forget,
rather than smashing him through a building, doing all of this kind of stuff, it was completely unnecessary. And I'll tell you what, like I like nearly all of the movie, and that fight scene is the worst part of the movie for me.
But hang on for 1 second.
Batman and Superman is by far my least favorite part of that movie.
But hang on,
and there's everything else I think is like all the other fight scenes I think are awesome.
Yeah, there's one part though. Remember, after he says "stand down, if I wanted you, be dead already." He's basically trying again to reason with Batman. Batman hits him with the kryptonite gas, and guess what? Now he can pose a threat. He can't just hold him there because he'll just deploy more gas.
That's a while after. That's a while into.
No.
I mean,
It's near the beginning of the fight, dude. Actually, I'll pull up the YouTube clip and I'll take the sound off.
So the only.
But don't listen, dude. You don't have to get defensive about this.
No, I'm not.
Because I like the rest of the movie. It's just like this part of the movie I just think has like a couple of issues that I'm just like. It doesn't ruin the movie. It's just that I understand why people are like, yeah, that doesn't like make that much sense.
All right.
And like, there's another thing that Batman says during the fight, which completely undermines like the whole thing of the Martha scene, where it's where he's like, oh, I bet your parents taught you a different thing. I bet your parents told you that you're going to be something. And it's like, but if you know he has parents who love him, why is the revelation of Martha that meaningful for you?
It's because Martha is the name of his mother. Like,
yeah.
No.
But hang on, Nick.
The only thing. Okay.
That's what we always argue. It isn't about that. That's what I'm.
Nerdman, hang on for 1 second.
We always argue it isn't about. But all right.
So here's the scene. Superman goes, stand down. If I wanted it, you'd be dead already. And then Batman deploys his lead smoke screen, which, by the way, I noticed this. It had lead on it. Superman shows up, and then all of a sudden, Batman fires the grenade with the kryptonite gas. It's that early in the fight.
Yeah.
What does
It-
that mean? It's that early, but there was a whole long bit before that where he throws him through the building.
Yeah, and then he said that's following repeated attempts by Superman to get Bruce to stop fighting. He's like, dude.
Yep. I get what the scene is trying to do, but it just doesn't do it
Batman doesn't care.
in
He wants to
a
kill Superman.
way that makes complete sense.
Now, here's the
just
thing.
feels a
That's
little
Batman's
bit
out.
like, oh, we have to get Batman and Superman to fight each other. That's what it feels like. And it's
Well,
like
the setup makes perfect sense.
there's
It's the setup.
actually no reason. Yeah, I thought the setup was fine. The setup up until where he kidnaps his mom and everything like that, I think the setup is fine. I just think they had to make Batman a little bit more tactical or more
It was
so
really
that there was so that there wasn't a confrontation where Superman could literally just tell him, hey dude, they've captured my mom. They needed to do it where Batman had just set up a whole fucking list of traps or something like that where he wasn't in direct, face to face where he can hear him.
He did. And by the way,
No, but yeah, you're not listening to, dude, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where he wasn't in a distance
Sonic
where he could just
cannon,
literally hear
guns.
him, and he could have just said, that's not what I'm saying. You're going back to, yes, I know he set up traps. That's not the point. It's not about setting up traps. It's that he's close enough to hear Superman just go, hey, they've got my mother, and we know that Batman would stop almost immediately if he tells him that.
No, he wouldn't.
No,
No,
You
not
don't
this
think he would have
Batman.
stopped?
No.
You don't think he would have stopped? I think
No,
he
he's
would
an
have
alien.
No.
Here's what Batman would have thought. He's an alien worrying about other aliens. And here's the thing. The reason why he stopped with the Martha scene is because, again, like we said before, this is Batman's chance to make up for letting his parents die.
Yeah, sure. I
So
agree with that.
that's why that works.
PTSD. It triggered Batman's PTSD over his mother when he said, "Save
Absolutely.
Martha, don't let them kill Martha." That is the only thing that got Batman
And
to stand down.
to quote Snyder Queen,
So you don't think he would have done that if he had said my mother?
No.
Really? Wow.
No,
So that makes
because
Batman
here's the
a bit
thing.
of an asshole, doesn't it?
Well, that's Batman in this movie. But here's the thing. Batman is blinded by rage in this part. And this part, all he's thinking about is, because remember, he has just had a nightmare where the dude took over the world. He has had all these people. He's been manipulated by Lex Luthor. As far as he knows, Superman intentionally let the Capitol get bombed. So at that point, and he develops a hatred of Superman, where if he said my mother. And Snyder Queen actually says here he hates this alien. If he had said he has my mother, Batman would have thought, oh, you're a Kryptonian mother. He doesn't know Krypton's destroyed.
Yeah,
Never mind
exactly.
the fact that earlier in the movie, Batman literally said, if there's a 1% chance that
he is our enemy,
then we need to treat him as such. 1%.
Yeah, but I don't think that's to be taken like so literal.
That's Batman we're talking about.
That he'd allow an innocent
Batman literally
person.
lives in a black and white world.
No, but I don't think he would allow an innocent person to die. I think you're not giving
this Batman would have. He was hell bent on one because here's the thing though.
That you're saying what everyone criticizes the movie for. That he only stops because her name's Martha.
No. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying the reason why he doesn't stop because Superman says my mother is because why he wouldn't stop. Why first off, Batman wouldn't stop because remember, the 1% chance. Here's why I can take that literally, because there's a storyline called Tower of Babel where Batman acted on the 1% chance that Justice League turns evil. He's done that. This Batman has lost everyone important to him.
Even Snyder Queen's agreeing with me. I don't think that's Batman would have let his mom die. That's not.
But do you really think it would let?
You're not even a man. He literally says right before he kills them, "You're not even a man." To Batman, Superman,
you're not even a man.
He's not even human. He is an alien, so he's not even a human. So all those rules, exactly. So Snyder Queen, listen to the context.
What?
Yes.
Sorry, Batman wouldn't let a human die.
But he doesn't know his mom
But
is human. As far as
Yeah.
Superman mom is not human to him.
No, but you gotta
Yeah.
also remember.
So you're saying that he would accept that Lex Luthor literally has an innocent woman, like
Yeah, and
but an
Yeah.
alien.
that he's gonna kill, and
or
he's just
even if
gonna
it
allow
is,
that.
even if it is, Batman. This Batman is an end justify the means. So if letting a human woman die to kill this threat,
What? No.
he would accept that.
But according to
I don't think so.
Snyder
I think
Queen,
that's crazy talk.
according to Snyder Queen, here's the thing: as far as Batman knows, Superman does not have an earthly mother. As far as he knows, he doesn't. As far as he knows, Martha does not exist. So as far as he knows, Superman could be talking about a Kryptonian mom who came with him and has just not shown up
But
yet.
that isn't going to make a difference to the fact that, to me,
That-
I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
Hang on, Nick.
thinking of the logic of Batman, right? Batman is going to be like, oh my God, I'm still turning into a monster who's letting this guy's mum die. You know,
And
in
he
the
did
same
realize
way,
that.
in the same way that that tragedy happened to me, and he's just helpless. Now look at me, I'm just like this Joe Chill, basically helpless, and he's
And that's
helpless
exactly what
as his
happened.
mother is gonna die. And I think it wouldn't matter really. Like I think he would have had that realization whether she's Kryptonian or fucking Atlantean or whatever she
disagree,
was.
How the story
I
played
really
because
think
I disagree because the entire movie is basically Batman saying we can't trust Kryptonians because if there's a 1% chance that they are a threat, yeah, we're going to we have to take that as an absolute certainty. If he's operating under the assumption that Superman's mom is another Kryptonian, he's not going to care because he thinks all Kryptonians are threats that have to be dealt with. He was going to kill Clark.
Well, I mean,
How
you
many-
might be
how
right,
many
but that
how many
that
good
makes
people
me
are left?
like
How
him a
many
lot
say that?
less. I have to say,
Well,
Yeah,
the whole
if
movie.
that's
Hang
true,
on.
that's not how I read it, but like, maybe.
Hang on. Actually, someone actually had a good point. Batman is the villain throughout the majority of this movie. That's the point. The whole thing is everyone's telling Batman in this movie, you're going too far with this. Alfred, everyone is telling Batman, you have to take a second, take a breath. Take a breath.
Mm.
That's what makes his change into Justice League so effective, because at that point he's like, no, I have to make up for what I did. I made a promise on his grave. I'm not going to let Superman die in vain. I have to replace Superman essentially.
Can I tell you a criticism of this movie that doesn't make sense?
Sure, go ahead.
That I can't stand, because there's loads of criticisms of this movie I can't stand.
Go ahead.
One of the criticisms I hear, and this is from people who supposedly read comics, is that they're upset that Lex Luthor was able to trick Batman.
What?
Because Batman is supposed to be so smart that he wouldn't be
Lex
able to be
Luthor is
tricked.
literally one of the smartest people on the planet.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, wait a second. Wait,
Have you heard this
particularly, here's the
before?
thing. Batman's smart, but this Batman's operating purely on rage and emotion. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If you're operating on emotion and rage, particularly, you are very easy to manipulate.
But not only that, but yeah, Lex Luthor, of all the people who could do this to Batman, it's Lex Luthor. Lex
Yeah, exactly.
Luthor in the comics is like renowned. That's his thing, manipulation. I mean, he
Lex
can't do
Luthor
anything
can give,
else.
Reed Richards
He's
a
not
run
like
for
he
his
can
money.
fight Batman or Superman. The only thing he's got is manipulation, his brain, his wits. Of course he can do it. So yeah, that's
100%.
this.
100%. No disagreement there.
So what's another criticism you hear that you hate?
There's loads of Batman v Superman. I mean, the obvious ones, it's too dark.
Yeah, I was about to say that
which is just like, what do you mean? Like, there are good dark movies. So if there's good dark movies, you can't say that the movie is bad because it's too dark.
Oh, and Snyder Queen says, and Lex says in the movie, he's been doing it for years. It wasn't just like he all of a sudden started manipulating Superman like when the Capitol bombing happened. No. It was like years and years and years and years of essentially building Bruce's rage, because he knows that if Bruce is too angry at Superman, he's gonna be blinded by anger. And when Batman's blinded by anger, he's not gonna listen to reason.
Even
Oh,
Alfred could get
I can tell you another one.
Okay.
The movie's too stuffed with things, and it's incomprehensible.
What?
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 This is we're talking about the Ultimate
So
Edition here. We're not talking about.
ridiculous.
Here's the
Is
thing.
that the
I don't
one-
even think the edition in the cinema was confusing. I'm being really.
It left out
serious.
certain points, but I see what you're saying.
Like, it wasn't confusing at all to me. I was like, okay, yeah, I can see what, like, you know, when in the beginning, sorry, and I'll let you speak. Sorry,
No, it's
I'll
okay.
stay silent
okay.
for a while. You know, in the beginning where and it is a much better scene in the Ultimate Edition, but in the beginning they shoot all these people, and then Superman gets blamed for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
In the cinema
Yeah.
thing, and I was already like, okay, there's a scene missing here, but I could almost figure it out, and I could just go with the story.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really need, like, I know it should have, to be fair to people, if they want to really be nitpicky and whatever, and just being harsh on the movie, they could say, yeah, why would you think that Superman, you know, shot up a bunch of people? Why would the like bullets be like the thing? But I was already like, maybe they probably burnt them, or something like that. You don't necessarily need to see it or something, but
Yeah.
like the whole point was the fact that it was confusing. I can understand that people could say, hey, you should have put the scene back in.
Yeah.
But the fact that people couldn't make that little leap to just go, oh, well, yeah, probably something like that happened, was just
Exactly.
and that it was this confusing mess. It wasn't a confusing mess. It was like the main part of the story was Batman versus Superman. There was 2 minutes of like, even if you didn't like it, right? Like the Justice League being shown on, what was it?
Quick time. It's essentially YouTube.
So even if you didn't like that part, what was that, like a minute, 2
Yeah.
minutes max out of like a 2.5 hour movie in the cinemas? And then Wonder Woman, I love what they did with Wonder Woman. They didn't overexpose her. They just kept her, you know, as a little cameo in it, like doing
But
her
we
little,
shouldn't have known that
little
Wonder
thing.
Woman was in the movie. That's the thing.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, that would have been nice if we didn't know. But like, apart from that, like, I don't want her like having a major role in the film.
Oh,
So
yeah.
her just having this little part in it was great. Everything
I was fine
she
with
did
that.
was great, and I wasn't confused by the movie. I don't know where people were confused. What happened that was confusing in this movie?
Well,
like 90% of it was Batman and Superman, basically.
Yeah, and there are people that criticize this movie saying it was basically Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman put into one, and I'm like, so? I'm not seeing the downside here.
That's a very surface level
because here's the thing.
Comment on the movie. It is a very surface level. Like, while they're technically correct, they're also technically wrong.
Because, well, yeah, it's an adaptation of both storylines, but I felt that Snyder actually weave those two storylines together really well, because what could have happened is that you could have had like he's trying to weave two storylines together and then it gets clunky. I think they kind of led into each other very naturally. That's just
I feel like Doomsday was kind of like there wasn't that much setup for Doomsday. Like, I'm not really a big fan of it. Kind of just throwing him in there. It felt that to me that felt like a little bit too much.
That's not the real Doomsday, but okay.
It did.
But like
I have to.
It was Doomsday enough. He literally calls him, "Here's your Doomsday." He looked like Doomsday. Even if he's not the Doomsday, he's still a Doomsday. So quacks like a dog, walks like a dog. It's Doomsday.
I honestly think.
Snyder,
tell me what you think
guy.
of this. Tell me what you think of this.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I'm just trying to find his name. The guy to the right of me.
It's Nick.
Nick, yeah, like I so think they should have turned that guy in the wheelchair into Parasite.
That would have been cool.
Like, I didn't understand why.
No, he should be Metallo.
By the way, was
in
the beginning of the movie,
I wouldn't be able to take on Wonder Woman and Superman.
Yeah, I'm giving you that. No, she would have gotten torn apart by Wonder Woman.
Well, the problem is you give him legs. You know, it's like if you start talking about cybernetics, you're entering Metallo territory. And you could kind of make a sense. It's like, oh, his body is like super strong and speed, and that allows him to take hits from Wonder Woman or something. You know, you could kind of hand wave it a little bit.
I still think
Parasite's better.
makes sense because like all you have to do to explain him being able to fight the Trinity is him getting hold of Superman.
Yeah, that's it.
Not even Superman, but imagine he absorbs Wonder Woman's powers as well.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure,
The point is also here's the thing with Parasite. If he's like goo, he could make legs, so it's not like he's gonna be like crawling around the ground. Although that would actually be really cool too, as well.
But that basically that's just you need to basically rewrite the whole movie to kind of set that up.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be done. Like honestly, having him be even turning him into Doomsday would have even worked better.
No.
See, the problem is they literally bring back Zod's body and just throw him in the movie, and he's the final villain. It wouldn't make sense for Wally to be the final villain. I would have
preferred them bringing back Zod as some kind of weird Bizarro or something. Like,
dude,
the worst thing. Like, I don't think killing off Superman was that great an idea. To be fair,
okay.
They made it work in Zack Snyder's Justice League. They did. I'm not gonna lie. They made it work. But it was too much. I like the fact it had stakes. I thought that was ballsy to kill off Superman, and I didn't hold it like hugely against the movie. But I just think like Doomsday was too much. That whole thing and turning Zod into Doomsday was too much. Whereas they had a really organic story with the guy with the wheelchair.
But and here's the thing, and yes, I agree with you. That's my one. If I can definitely see that criticism as a little more legitimate, because here's the thing: is that the reason why people always go to Doomsday for like a Superman villain is because they're superficial enough to think, okay, so that's the only villain that could possibly stand a threat to Superman, and they leave out Parasite, which I agree with you. It would have been so much better, and plus,
Mr. Pitzanik.
Well, there's no way he's going to use Pixel-Plick in a movie. No. But anyway,
but
my point is...
But
I'm sorry. It's later, and then we'll actually wrap up.
No, go on. What was your point?
Okay. Actually, my point is that...
I have one big thing I need to get off my chest.
Sure, and then we'll go around, and then we'll wrap it. But my point is that I agree with you, Nerd Man. It would have... because the story that they set up with Wally would have 100% flowed fantastically into the Parasite storyline, because they could have made it like the Parasite storyline was like some experimental like LexCorp like goop that Lex exposed him to or something like that. Somehow they could have still lived. Yeah, exactly. 100%. And then 100% that there were other villains they could have used other than Doomsday. I like it for a story-wise. I like it for the story it served, but I definitely acknowledge that it would have been also cool if that were Parasite instead. So that's what I'm saying. Nick?
All right. So, like I have my big critique, but I want to comment on the storyline. Basically, Parasite could be like the comment of, what if Batman goes too far with trying to kill Superman? Like the comment on this is what will happen to Bruce if he doesn't, get better kind of thing, parallels. Because like you could have Wally basically paralleling Bruce's storyline, just more extreme. But like my biggest problem is that freaking spear. Honestly, if you watch the fight, all it would be like some communication. Like Clark yelling to Diana, catch, and then because at that point Doomsday, and then Diana rams him with the spear. And Diana would have survived that blast. Maybe she would have been weakened, but that invalidates the whole Superman dying thing.
But here's the thing:
everything gets resolved by Parasite. By the way, even the Justice League premise where Superman isn't in the, he can't fight what's his name in the beginning. That could just be literally Parasite takes his powers.
But here's the thing:
Parasite so powerful that when he touches Superman, he drains him of his powers.
But and then you know what?
And then you have to wait till the Justice League how they're going to get Superman's powers back.
But the criticism again would have been. But here's the thing: with the amount of time from BVS to Justice League, Superman would have just been able to absorb enough sunlight too. That there would have to really depower him, like severely depower him.
Mhm.
But
Sure, why
also,
not?
I do think, honestly, someone put in here, what if it would have been cool if they saved Doomsday for the Justice League movie, and Doomsday was the Justice League villain. Like, he
And
gets
then go-
unleashed, and then they have to bring the League together.
And then go to Darkseid.
And then go to Darkseid in like 2 or 3. That's another. Actually, that's honestly where I think Doomsday would have been better. And also, Nerdman, what they could have done, if they wanted to, if they were hellbent on going on Superman dying, they could have just had Parasite absorb so much of Superman's powers that Superman just straight up dies.
Or not necessarily.
Nah,
die,
you can't do
or
that.
do-
If it's Doomsday has to kill Superman.
Okay,
But, like,
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Or-
I see what you're saying. Maybe
Actually, I have
he's
a
in a
rewrite.
coma or something, but I don't know.
No, here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Parasite depowers him enough to where he loses his Superman powers, and he just has to live like a normal Clark Kent. And then like Man of Steel 2 or Justice League is him regaining his Superman powers, rediscovering it. So it's like he doesn't die, but he gets the power to the point where he's just Clark Kent, and then basically he has to become Superman again, and then you can kill him in Justice League. I
That's
think that
literally
makes
what
more
I said,
sense.
but it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike.
Teladia, what's up?
So while we do our final thoughts of the film,
Yeah.
wrap up and everything, my honest opinion is that I love the film. To this day, I still love it. I enjoy watching it. It's probably one of the it probably beats Civil War because the fact is it's very in depth, all together, glued together, stuck together in the Ultimate Edition, and I love the fact that they started to introduce the Justice League members through that.
I wish there would have been a post-credit scene, but okay.
In a post-credit scene
Something
format.
I forgot to say, bro.
Yeah.
Just
I'm sorry.
Just to add to
Go
the
ahead,
point. Just to add to your point.
Yeah.
The philosophy in this film is fucking.
It's so good. Yeah, I know.
It's so good. It's so good. Sorry.
It's okay.
It is so good, and it's one of the things I enjoy about this, and I wish the DC had kept some of that in it. Sorry, carry on, dude.
But go ahead, Teladia. Sorry, it's all right.
Yeah. So as I was saying, so I felt the film was really well done in terms of pacing. There wasn't like high or lows or anything. That's my take on it, and I still give it to this day a very 8.5 out of 10.
I give it about the same. It's my second favorite superhero movie. My number one being Zack Snyder's Justice League, of course, but that's kind of how I rank it. I have Justice League, BVS, and then Man of Steel on there.
Yeah.
Really, all three of them, all three Zack Snyder. I'd put Watchmen above a couple of those.
Well, it's because here's the thing. It's because I'm a massive Superman, Trinity, and Justice League fan. So of course those movies are going to be my favorites on that. Oh, and Nerd Queen actually has a higher ranking there.
Snyder Queen does have a high ranking because she's the queen of them all because she got Wonder Woman.
And she's always right. And by the way, Landa, there will be we're going to do one for Justice League. Next week's going to be Wonder Woman. And then the week after that is going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're going to talk about every one of these movies.
I would say, though, that BVS, I give it about a 6.5 to 7. But I give Civil War the same, the exact same. I think they have equally, they have an equal amount of flaws, right? Like in them, and an equal amount of good parts in them. I just think Civil War is a much safer movie, and but the action's generic. The fight in the airport is a pointless sparring match. It has no stakes. Has no balls. The villain sucks. The cinematography is TV level, but the story flows in a sense. Like the story flows in the Captain America, Iron Man, duel. Or what makes them clash works a little bit better than BVS. BVS, on the other hand, the visual, music. The Batman is cooler than anything in Civil War. I like Wonder Woman a lot more than anything in Civil
Yeah.
War. So there's pluses and minuses to both, and I think it's interesting looking and comparing both of those movies.
And I will say one thing. Speaking of visuals, there was this one visual from the movie that I want to replay because it's my favorite visual from the movie. Just that clash of heat vision. That was gorgeous. Oh, and yes, we have no. I need that for a clip. Dang it! And by the way, do you guys just want to move the Snyder cut to next week? Because apparently people want it to be next week.
No. We
Okay.
No, we
No,
need to talk about Wonder Woman.
Okay,
need to
yeah.
talk
give me
Do
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman. Do
Wonder Woman
Wonder
is next
Woman.
week, and then the week after that is going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's a reason why we're doing this in the order they came out because they all build upon each other.
You're
we're
not
kind
doing
of
Suicide
experiencing
Squad.
things.
No, because we're doing the
Because
because there is no other cut.
I can
Yeah.
answer. Here's the thing. I can answer that.
Yeah.
WB meddled with Suicide Squad, so we're not classing that as a Snyderverse type of thing because WB interfered with it heavily, including the editing of the movie. So
I like it. I don't know
That's
about
fine,
anybody
you can
else.
like
I
it.
actually like it.
It's
I don't
okay.
know why everyone hates it.
And by the way, Snyder Queen, I have a question for you. So when we cover Zack Snyder's Justice League, will you actually be on the panel?
yeah, that's a good
You
question.
kind of have to show up for Wonder Woman and Zack Snyder's Justice League, considering it's in your name.
Please,
Yeah.
pretty please.
And yes, we'll cover it when the Ayer cut come out. Come on, we'd love to have our queen on. I'll even play your clip again. And I have one more for you, Snyder Queen. Yep. Come on, Snyder Queen. We want you on the show next week. And wow, they just vanished. That's rude. That was good. I'm so glad that was in the Snyder cut.
I still need
Yeah.
to give my final thoughts on BVS. by
Oh
the way.
sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
So overall, I think it's a better movie than I remember. It
Mhm.
has some problems. I personally think Civil War was.
You watched the
slightly
studio
better.
cut.
I did watch the Ultimate Edition originally.
Okay.
I give BVS a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, that
Yeah.
works.
Okay.
And you said you think Civil War's better.
But Man of Steel is better than all of them so far.
It's not
There you
better
go.
than Zack Snyder's Justice League, baby.
No. He means of the movies you previously mentioned.
Of
Oh,
Civil
right.
War, BVS, and Man of Steel. Man of
So-
Steel is the best one of that.
I enjoy
No.
BVS more than Man of Steel.
I really like Man of Steel. I will defend that movie. Like the Man of Steel was an 8.0.
Mhm.
Maybe 8.5. This one,
Mine was a 10.
My problem was
I like
it did
Chris
feel kind of
Terrier's
rushed.
writing more. That's the only thing. I just
Oh, and by the way,
prefer him as a writer.
and by Lawrence, here's another reason why. Here's my chief criticism of Civil War. If you read the comic, it's literally almost the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Well, some would say it's better than original Civil War. 'Cause, like, Civil War,
I mean, it's
Civil
let.
crap.
Here's the thing. I wish they had it after Endgame because you have so much more characters to put in. And by the way, so actually, we'll start with this in terms of Nerdman. So where can everyone find you?
Oh, on Hot Takes Tuesdays.
Mhm.
And on Twitter you can find me at what is my Twitter handle again? With enough prep time, is it?
Yeah, it's with enough prep time. His profile picture is the Logan poster.
For some reason, even though I don't like that movie that much. I
You
don't
hate
know.
Logan? Wow.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Expel him! Expel this hair.
Nah.
I just think it's a little overrated. I don't know. I'd prefer to watch any
Logan
of the
is
Zack
not
Snyder
overrated.
movies.
It's
Okay.
literally the greatest cinematic achievement known to man.
No, Zack Snyder's Justice League is. So
Zack
stop
Snyder's
lying.
Justice League
Okay,
is way better than Logan.
Cinematic achievement for
Way
mankind.
better than Logan, dude.
So-
Thank you.
So
Wonder Woman's better than Logan. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
don't-
God! Okay, like you can say Zack
Okay.
Snyder's better than.
Sorry.
Wait.
you gotta do it again. Come on, man.
No, I'm not gonna do it again.
So
I'm always the butt of all the jokes.
so mind if I promote myself out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you guys aren't subbed to my YouTube, I put it in the private chat, by the way. I cover Gotham Knights, slowly transitioning into movies. So as soon as they drop trailers for Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman 2, and Shazam Trailer of the God, Shazam Fury of the God, I should say, then make sure you guys do subscribe to my YouTube page because I'm covering all of the DC stuff. I'm covering everything DC, and that's where to find me.
And you can follow me on Comics League JT on Twitter. In terms of Instagram, it's Comics League 2020. And also, we have a website. So I'm just pulling that up real quick. So
You have a website?
yeah, for anyone that wants to know where can I go for a one-stop shop for all my Comics League needs. Well, just plug in comicsleague.com into Google, and I apologize, it's loading, but let me reload the page. It should come up pretty soon. And my point is that there is an entire site where you can get all of our episodes from straight up from the beginning. You can actually get in touch with me via email for everything. So on that note, in terms of, oh, by the way, I'll drop Nick's Twitter in the thing. Yeah. Nick, where can everyone find you? Oh,
all right.
Wrong
So
thing.
you can find me on Twitter at Product Access 1, on YouTube at The Phoenix Press. Kind of currently taking a break from stuff. Just kind of I got some stuff I got to take care of, but should be returning to video centric stuff soon. And yeah. And then on Instagram, just search The Phoenix Press. You can find me there, and also you can find me on Comics League, where I am second only to the wonderful Jared.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, man, it was really cool talking to you, Nick. And I don't know your name. Sorry, you've said it a couple of times, but I just didn't take it in.
I'm Nick from the
Nick. I know Nick, but up.
My name?
Yeah.
Mine is Teladia.
Teladia, sorry.
Yeah, Teladia.
Teladia, because he plays.
It's good talking to you, especially after last week, because
By the way,
it's all good.
I thought people were thinking I was being antagonistic, and
you weren't.
I was just like, that was, yeah.
No, you had your own valid criticism. Here's the thing, Nerd Man. I know that you're coming at it from the perspective of an actual fan. You're an actual fan, so that's why I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's part of why I brought you on here. So.
How dare you have a different opinion than mine? How dare you?
I know. How dare you? This is the internet. No varying opinions are allowed. So,
that's right.
On that note, I will see you guys in next week for Snyder's. We might have to move it to Snyder Saturdays because we seem to be doing it a lot of the time on Saturdays. But the point is, we'll see you in the next Snyder-centered episode where we talk about Wonder Woman. And stay at work, everyone. I will see you in the very a little heated but great discussions. And Nerd Man and Snyder Queen, remember, you have to show up on the panel for the next in the next 2 episodes. Please do. We would love to have you for Wonder Woman and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And Nerd Man, you are more than welcome to attend.
Yeah, man, definitely. I love that movie. So,
on that note, see you guys later, and stay at work, everyone. Bye-bye.